On November 2nd, 1963, Ngo Dinh Diem, the president of South Vietnam, was arrested and assassinated in a CIA-backed coup d'etat led by General Duong Van Minh. After years of authoritarian and family-dominated rule, dissatisfaction with the Diem regime had been growing beneath the surface. It eventually erupted into widespread Buddhist protests against religious discrimination after government forces shot demonstrators who had defied a ban on displaying the Buddhist flag. The Army of the Republic of Vietnam responded by launching a violent, overnight assault on Gia Long Palace in Saigon. However, when rebel troops stormed the building, President Ngo Dinh Diem and his younger brother and advisor Ngo Dinh Nhu were gone, having escaped to a loyalist refugee in Chalon. From there, the brothers maintained contact with the rebels via a direct communication line, deceiving them into thinking they were still inside the palace. Eventually, they agreed to surrender after being promised safe exile. Instead, after their capture, the brothers were assassinated in the back of an armored personnel carrier by ARVN officers while being transported to military headquarters near Tan Son Nhut Air Base. Although no official investigation followed, most accounts attribute responsibility for the killings to Captain Nguyen Van Nung, General Duong Van Minh's bodyguard, and Major Duong Hieu Nha, both of whom accompanied the brothers during the transfer. Minh's fellow officers and American officials in Saigon generally believed he ordered the executions. Theories about his motives include resentment over the brothers' escape from the palace, which embarrassed him, and a desire to prevent them from making a political comeback. The generals initially tried to conceal the assassinations by claiming the brothers had committed suicide, but this narrative collapsed when photographs of their bodies appeared in the press. And 2 years later, 60 years to this day, on November 2nd, 1965, Norman Morrison, a 31-year-old American anti-war activist, committed suicide by dousing himself in kerosene and setting himself on fire below the office of Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara at the Pentagon to protest the United States' involvement in the Vietnam War. This act was motivated by images of Vietnamese children severely burnt by napalm attacks and may also have been influenced by Thich Quang Duc and other Buddhist monks who self-immolated in protest of the repression carried out by South Vietnam's Catholic president, Ngo Dinh Diem. Well, that's all I have for you all today. If you like what you hear, leave a comment down below and subscribe and tell me what you think. This is Stephen Luke, and I'll see you next time for another history update.